Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Jackal Jabber, not Flick and Reel. Well, I mean, this is Flick and Reel, obviously, because it's a Flick and Reel channel. But this is my first ever Ask Me Anything attempt, so we're just kind of going to open up the floor today, have some general discussion. I've sent the StreamYard link out to a few people, so maybe we'll have some guests. Maybe it'll be just me, and we'll see what kind of interesting conversations that we get going. But I've made a lot of really awesome friends in the last couple months, and it's been really great getting to know them, and I just want to give an opportunity for people to get to know me, make some more friends along the way, and just see how it goes. So I got a couple people already in the comments section, and I want to answer some questions. I really did not prepare a setup. That's just how chill we're going today. First is from the one, the only Miss Brandy Parker. Hey, Brandy. Question number one, what is your favorite anime movie of America? Now, anyone that has not been on Twitter didn't see that I was talking to Brandy about setting this up, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I have some prep for some AMAs," and my brain was just like, "I don't know what an AMA is." I was like, "Is that Anime Movies of America?" So I don't know what qualifies as an actual like American anime. Was Digimon American anime, or I mean, I know like TV shows. You got Castlevania, which is just top-notch stuff. I still need to get back into that. I watched the first season, like blew right through it. I mean, it's only like 3 or 4 episodes. I liked it a lot. And then me, if you want to know something about me, I am notorious for never finishing things unless I have somebody to watch it with me. I have a very hard time being independently motivated when it comes to content. So, yeah, there you go. All right, and we got one from Mr. Maxwell. Who allowed you to be so gorgeous? Maxwell, I got to ask you to be quiet because actually I didn't ask for permission to be this attractive. I'm trying to keep it on the down low. So that's why I wear tie-dye and backwards hats to try to disguise all this unyielding hotness. Brandy back at it with, I actually know nothing about anime, working and getting better at it. You know what? I grew up having 3 channels, and the only exposure to anime I had is one of my older brothers. Oh, here's new information. I'm the youngest of 5 kids. All of them half siblings, though. I am the only one from my mom and dad. But one of my older brothers introduced me to Dragon Ball Z and Gundam Wing, so I watched some of that as a kid when I was a youngin', and I thought it was pretty cool. And I went and rewatched some of that stuff when I was 18, and I was like, wow, this drags a bit. And I know there's a lot of people that are into like quality anime that just can't believe that that's been my exposure. So I wish I was smart enough to share music. I have like some royalty free music playing in my headphones right now, so I might be doing this because I'm kind of jamming, but I can't figure out how to share only audio. So it is what it is. Gonna pop over to Maxwell right here. I want to watch Demon Slayer so I can go see the movie. That makes sense. I feel like half my conversations about Mortal Kombat, everyone's like, oh, well, Demon Slayer is doing better. Or my future sister-in-law is working at AMC Theaters right now, and she said that Demon Slayer, at least at her theater, blew Mortal Kombat out of the water opening weekend. So, if you were to create a movie festival, what would the theme be in the first and last movie? That's such a dope question. Theme. Interesting. I want to say like maybe something around the premise of like cult classics or movies with like a strong fandom, but maybe not a huge fandom. One movie that comes to mind is like, I absolutely love Bill and Ted, and clearly it was popular enough to garner 3 movies. However, I'd say 90 to 95% of the people I talk to have not seen Bill and Ted. Something like that, or Tremors. Something where it's like, if you've seen it, you probably love it, but yeah. So, I mean, I guess that is the definition of cult classic, but I don't know how many people would consider at least Bill and Ted a cult classic. Probably not. So, what would I start and end it with? Like, can we throw the room in there? Because that's kind of a cult classic too. So like, just interchange the movies that are bad but legendary. Yeah, I don't know exactly how I'd start and end it, but I would definitely do a cult classics and like particular fandom movie festival. I should have had some things prepared in advance, but we got 6 people here. Hi, everybody. Um, no pressure at all. I'm just gonna pop this up here for a second. If you guys want to, I will have StreamYard or Streamlabs open and checking on it occasionally. Just help support the channel, get some more months of the paid for StreamYards that I still got to figure out how to use. But again, no pressure. Just appreciate it. And you guys have gone above and beyond between the couple streams that I had. When I had my engagement / birthday party stream, still feeling emotional about it. And then even on the thank you stream where I was like, all right, everybody, don't donate anything. You still did. So just, again, huge thank you to everybody that was involved with that. Matt Thomas, Jeff, Quiz Show. Got some surprise guests. I think Coy popped up on both of those. Go Quirky Mercs. All right. And here we go. I don't have it. Hey, Gio, over from Apocaflix. How's it going, buddy? We're just hanging out, and I'm answering questions. I just had some free time today, which never happens. And I thought I would just get a chill session going on and hang out with people and learn some things about each other. And you know what I also want to do for some of the questions that pop up here, have your own answers in the chat. Get a conversation going amongst yourselves. For example, Brandy asks, what TV movie crossover event would you do, but they have to be different genres? These are such good questions that if I wish I had it in front of me prior to doing this so I could have answers picked. Different genres, TV to movie. Let's see. Could I cheat a little and do? I don't know. I want to see a Conjuring crossover with Supernatural, and I guess those are both kind of horror, but I think they're different enough. I don't know. You can tell me if that's not good enough. I'm trying to think of. I'll try to think of something better in the meantime. I don't know how to pin things from here. I'm still figuring stuff out. Should we be worried about Dune after what WB did to MK and Godzilla versus Kong as far as runtime? Well, okay, here's the one thing I'll say. Was it Adam Wingard? Was that his name that directed Godzilla versus Kong? I don't think he doesn't have a large breadth of background. He has some movies. And then the Mortal Kombat director was a first-time director. And what we know, studios like Fox with Fantastic Four or Warner Brothers, is a lot of times they will just run over directors that don't have a lot of experience or enough spine to stick up for themselves. Granted, they did to Zack Snyder anyways. But I doubt, especially with them being on thin ice with Denis Villeneuve, that they would push that further. Plus, Denis talked about wanting to make just the first book 2 movies anyways. So that sounds like they're really going to explore the story as it should be. I read Dune for the first time during the pandemic because I was so excited for this movie. So when it got pushed back, I just revolted. I was very frustrated. I'm not worried about Dune yet. I'm very excited about it. It hurts to be reminded about it because it just feels like it's so far away. Maddie Gunner, follow me over from the David B. Twitch stream. If anyone hasn't gone on to Twitch and followed David B., he's just a musical connoisseur. And listening to him, I was in a trance. It's just the most the greatest vibes and stuff. And I was just sitting and I guess I did. I pushed this back 5 minutes because I was just vibing with David B. So go check that out. He does great work for the Schmodown. You'll see, you'll hear his music across the after show space. And it's good stuff. Ooh, that's tough. What was the first movie you saw that made you fall in love with film? Oh, there's layers to that question because I've always loved movies. Movies have always been on, but I feel like there's a more specific answer that made me want to dissect film. I know, and this might seem weird, I know the first movie that made me pay attention to scores and composers more. Might seem like a weird choice, but it's actually Man of Steel. As much as I always liked music and I appreciate Hans Zimmer before, there was something about how the score, I mean, you can debate the movie, but the score of Man of Steel really touched me. And from then on, I started listening to scores and soundtracks. I started going to the gym and working out to scores. That's something I never did before. And like I also did like Junkie XL's Mad Max score. I like taking that to the gym. As far as what made me fall in love with film, it's got to be something from the 80s. It's either going to be all the times I watched Back to the Future as a kid, or Indiana Jones, or Batman '89. I definitely feel like my childhood was, even though I'm pretty young. I just turned, math, 28. I was going to say 26. I had to do math. But all the 80s stuff is just what I grew up with. It's a bit similar for now. I keep thinking, yeah. What about? I'll think of something. What the? That's terrible. Would you rather have no knees or no elbows? I gotta say, I would rather have no elbows, because if I had this going on, I could still like pick stuff up, you know. But if my knees were locked up, I'd be walking like a damn double pegged pirate. Max, I love this question. So I spent the first 18 to 20 years of my life probably being very not into tattoos or piercings. I still don't see myself ever getting a piercing, but the tattoo has evolved. I'll get mushy first and then say some of the other stuff. There's like 3 tattoos that I've had in mind. I don't know if I'll ever get around to doing them, but one is me and my fiance kind of have our cheesy little catchphrase, which is my brain. It's forever and after. So instead of like, people say forever and always, we're saying like, there's life together, there's death together, and then there's after that. So forever and after is our thing. We'll probably have it popped up in the wedding in some places. So I was thinking either like a wrist tattoo or something small somewhere. Another one is I've been skateboarding for about 13 years. Not as much anymore, but still, it's a big part of my life. And I wanted to get like a skateboard deck, like maybe like right down here. But the deck is like a heart monitor. Like the actual line of it is the heart monitor. And that's just kind of, representative that's been my lifeblood for well over a decade. And it helped me get through a lot of stuff. And then I would love to get either an excerpt from or a representation of like the Green Lantern Oath, because I love that shit. I love DC. Chose the color green here. So, all right, what do we got? Whoa. There we go. Lost some stuff. Cotton Hill ain't got no shins. Okay, whoa. Maddie says, and if you say yes, please let me be the one to tattoo you. Possibly. All right, Brandy. Have you ever broken bones? If so, how many, which, and how? Surprisingly, not that I know of. I have not had anyone tell me a bone is broken. However, I swear something's wrong with my tailbone. I know I have like an early onset of arthritis in my lower back. And at one point, I jammed my pinky toe into a door jamb while wearing sandals. And now I can move my pinky toe on my right foot separately from the rest of my toes. And I can't do that with my other foot. So maybe. However, I have had knee surgery twice. I have torn my ACL my graduation year, 2011. And then I tore my meniscus just a couple years ago, which actually led to me meeting Lauren. I had to leave my job because it was a labor job and find something else. So I went to the theater so I could get paid to sit and work the, be the ticket ripper. And because of that, I met Lauren because she was working at the AMC. So thank God I tore my leg, because that's how that went. Oh man, we are blowing up. Okay. Oh, Max, I have 6 tattoos and getting my 7th next week. Max, I don't think I've seen a single one of those. So depending on, actually, no, you know what? Yeah, I want to see them all. I want to see them all. Of course. I keep saying I'm going to get my chess piece finished out, but effort. Maddie, what is your chess piece? I know you like pizza. Go to pizza toppings. Feelings on pineapple on pizza. I'm weird about pineapple on pizza because I am a fan of pineapple on pizza. However, it's one of those things where there's like a breaking point. Like depending on where I get my Hawaiian pizza from, a lot of times I'll like take a fork and scrape off half the pineapple and distribute an even amount because I only want like a 1 bite, maybe 2 bites of pineapple per bite of pizza. And if it's more than that, I don't like it. So, but other pizza toppings, I love chicken bacon. So I'm a big chicken bacon ranch fan. I like white sauce, Alfredo sauce stuff. I don't love sausage. I can kind of tolerate it. There's not a lot of vegetables I like outside of, well, tomatoes, a fruit, I guess. So not a big veggie guy. Always lots of cheese. Dude, you skate? Hell yeah. Yeah, I do. And if you can remind me at some point during the stream, I'll try to throw a link down in there. It's been like 2 years since I made a skate video, but I have some. Or, you know what? Here, if you want. All right, I just threw in the chat. Oh, ignore the slash. Whoops. That's my main channel. Oh, the slash didn't show up. Yeah, that's my main channel. Or I should say my main channel. This is my main channel. That's my old channel. And there's some skateboarding on there. Well, Brandy, if you have no clue what to get, the safest bet, and what all responsible adults do before making a decision, is make a Twitter poll. Going to grab some meat. Favorite barbecue food? I mean, if you do a steak right, that's pretty high up there. I don't think there's a lot of barbecue you can do wrong. It just depends on the given day, you get like cheddar hot dogs are pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. Chicken's good. Barbecue anything. Barbecue is always best. Dude, tearing your ACL sucks. And not only does it suck, like even after you like physically are healed or you get through some of that crap, you're mentally kind of screwed up. I still will be like going down the stairs and sometimes I'll step a little weird and then I'll have like a 5-second panic attack and just like full body sweats thinking it's going to happen all over again. Oh my gosh. Brandy, are you a Terminator? Are you even alive? I've broken so many bones, cracked my skull open twice, broken 2 ribs, my tailbone, shattered my collarbone, broke all my toes, and so many other injuries. All right, so I want you guys to put over under 50%. Has Brandy broken more bones than Johnny Knoxville? Put that down in the chat. I want to know. Nerve ending exploding in my tooth was the worst pain ever. Jesus. I feel like you're like Mark and freaking Invincible. You just can't die, but you get the crap kicked out of you. My chess piece is 2 crows sitting on a power line, which is a lyric from a band called, is it Chiodos? I don't know if I butchered that or not. But that's very cool. That sounds rad. I don't like it with ham. It has to be jalapeno and pepperoni. Jalapenos on... I gotta be one of the only people I know. I don't like any jalapeno chips. I don't like jalapenos on my pizza. I swear I get too close to a jalapeno and I'm just like, ugh. Whoops. Oh, Brandy, there you go. Brandy got the. That's it. That's the channel there. If you guys want to watch some skateboarding at some point. It's never professional, but did a couple cool things. You skate, but did you play any other sports? So, I want to say about 2 years ago, I discovered, just because I was driving around, I saw a place called Flying Circus. And my first thought was, Monty Python Flying Circus? And I was like, what is this? So I looked it up, and it was like a trampoline park. Like, think skate park, but all trampolines. And I used to have a trampoline when I was a kid. I learned how to do front flip, back flip, but that was pretty much it. And I was like, oh, I want to go here. And it started for months. I started going there 2 to 3 times a week, if not more than that, for hours at a time. And so I've learned like wall flips, gainers, and like just several trampoline tricks and stuff. So, I mean, if you count that as a sport, I guess I do that. I am not talented from the waist up. So, like, my hand-eye coordination isn't good. I suck at throwing and catching stuff. In school, I love playing volleyball. I thought volleyball was a lot of fun. But my parents tried to put me into everything as a kid. They put me into soccer, baseball, got me a guitar to practice music, and I was bad at all of it. Skateboarding was the first thing that I stuck with, and it was a lot of trial and error with various sports and interests. TRI, tip, and cheddar hot dogs sound great. Indeed. Drink of choice, alcoholic and none. So as anybody that's gotten to know me well lately knows that I don't drink a lot anymore. I used to a lot, or a avid amount, when I was just not in as good of a headspace as I find myself to be in now. Not saying that you have to be in a bad headspace to drink alcohol. That's just, anyways. Usually I'm a pretty basic bitch. It's like those tall boys Mike's cans, like a Mike's Mango or Seagram's. I don't like beer very much. As far as liquor goes, Dragon Fruit Bacardi has gotten me in trouble a couple times. You get like Peach Crown Royal. What am I forgetting? I don't know, usually if you throw some fruit in there, I like some. Peppermint Smirnoff. That used to be one of the only things I would drink right out of the bottle, like without a shot or anything. And it was in for a bad time. Slightly under. Okay, Wingblade says that Brandy has broken just slightly less bones than Johnny Knoxville, and I'm not sure which side of that I fall under. She says way under, but I want to see the receipts. Let's see that. John Getz said, one time I stepped on a Lego. Have you guys seen Lego Movie 2 when Maya Rudolph steps on one of those Lego blocks? That was like the hardest I laughed that entire movie. Do I not like spicy things at all? I used to not like anything with a hint of spice. I've grown to now a bit. Like when I go to Taco Bell, it used to be like I worked my way into trying mild sauce, and then I went to hot sauce. I'm not onto like Diablo or whatever, but I like hot sauce on my Taco Bell stuff. And I don't know if you guys have Iron Grill or like what's it called, like Mediterranean Grill or something. But they do where it's like a self-serve thing. You know, you get a bowl and you get all the noodles and you get your meats and stuff, and then they cook it on the iron, and then scoop it all up, put it back in a bowl, and you eat it. Whenever I go there, I get spicy yakisoba noodles. And then, funnily enough, speaking of pineapple, I put pineapple in there, tomatoes, those little mini corns, and honestly, I get like red in the face and I sweat like just profusely. And I usually will get like, I'll ask them for the pitcher of water because I'm just like pouring water. And I know I'm a baby, but I do love it. Like, I think it tastes really good. So there's just certain flavors. I think it's not so much spice. I don't like peppers. I don't really like peppers. Favorite TV show? Oh, crap. I mean, I can't say that Game of Thrones didn't leave a huge impact on me. Granted, with a disappointing finale that I wasn't as angry at as everyone else was, but it was, I think, without really a great argument, the worst season out of the 8. There's so many shows that I liked for a while. I used to really like Arrow for 2 seasons. I like Flash for 2 seasons. I'm trying to think about the last ones. That Breaking Bad's really good. These are all really basic answers. I can throw out some animated stuff. Being that I'm a comic book fan, I think Earth's Mightiest Heroes is like one of the best Marvel shows. Spectacular Spider-Man. These are things I've gone back and rewatched multiple times. Oh, freaking Avatar: The Last Airbender. Perfection. It's a great show. Who is your favorite movie dad? Ooh. Can I say Big Daddy from Kick-Ass? Nick Cage. Everyone wants Nick Cage for a dad, right? That's just good times. I was just thoughts and prayers for John as he stepped on a Lego. How's your foot doing, buddy? Oh, we're gonna go here. Who are some of your favorite skaters? Mike V is my dude, but a big fan of some of the newer guys like Nija and Mason Silva. You might. I actually don't know who Mason Silva is. Dude, I've been so out of like the circle of skateboarding celebrities for a long time. Billy Marks used to always be my favorite. I don't know if he's still on Toy Machine, but he's super cool. Mike V was actually the first professional skateboarder I ever met. I mean, we had a big indoor park and he did a demo, and I think I said like 3 words to him. I used to want to skate like Mike V until some people made fun of me, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. He's super good. Albert Nyberg, I think he's Swedish. He's like 360 hard flips and stuff. He's got a crazy style. Always entertained by William Spencer. If you guys didn't know, William Spencer is actually the stunt double for Andrew Garfield in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. So there's some tie-in with movie nerdom and skateboarding. So it's all over the place. Let's see. Pat's asking, are we talking injuries? We sure can, man. Whatever floats your guys' boats, whatever you're into. We're just here to hang out and do that stuff. Did I just spell out TRI? All right, so you caught me. I have no idea what that is. So shame me, Sean, all you want. I just thought if I read through it and didn't say anything, nobody would pick that up. We're talking any and everything. That's right. He did. Yikes. I am your basic bitch, specifically Maxwell, but I do, I like to go around. What? Wait, hang on. I said I was going to look at Streamlabs, and then you guys just like blew up the chat. Oh my God. Apparently, Streamlabs. So we will have that open shortly. All right, donations. I'm going to look at that in just a second. Sean Wingblade asks, how does someone become your basic bitch, Maxwell? Asking for a friend. I think there's a lot of friends that Sean could be asking for. So please leave a detailed description on how that can be achieved down below. Brandy, thank you again. Oh, okay. Hi, Molly, my almost birthday twin. We were sharing a birthday weekend a couple weeks ago, so that's very cool. Saw you on POV doing the horror watch along earlier with Brian, and I'm spacing, but yeah, that was cool. Do I plan on to display all these Funkos back here? So I got this little section right here, and then down along here, my cat Goose likes to constantly like pull them out to wake me up. That's what he does. Yes. So I'm not in my favorite location right now. This is a very small living space. In probably around August or September, I will be moving out, hopefully into a 2-bedroom, and the extra bedroom we're going to use as an office space. And I will probably have these on display a lot more. Same with this stack of short boxes of comics. Wow, I'm so glad everyone showed up. I didn't know if people were gonna be here. I thought I was gonna be me talking to myself and reading movie news off of websites. All right, Streamlabs is open now. No, it's not. Almost. Okay. Where did I grow up? How many times have I moved? Well, so I grew up. I'm not going to get into super specifics, but I've lived in Washington my entire life. I know, boring. I lived pretty much in the same area and just bounced around to different parts of it. I'm not living there now, but for anyone that knows Washington at all, I've lived in Kent a couple times. Actually, I've lived in Kent like 3 times. Yeah, I've always stayed about 40 minutes like south of Seattle. Oh, Molly, if you're still here, Maxwell has confessed his undying love to you. So, yay, we have that. And Molly, yay, Molly. Good vibes. What are 3... Man, these questions are good. What are 3 superpowers that you'd want? Okay, well, since like the age of 10, I've always wanted Wolverine's healing factor. I think Maxwell, after tearing the ACL, can agree with that. Healing factor, super cool. I think it'd be cool to be like impervious to damage, like basically bulletproof, I guess, but like even more so, just like. But then I guess if you were that, you wouldn't really need the healing factor so much. Fun powers. Flying's cool. I would like to have like, because I think wings just look cool. I'd like to have wings that I could like summon. Like they weren't always there, but they were like. Maxwell might know what I'm talking about from books that we're reading, but like shadow wings, you fly some shadow wings. I'm sorry if I broke up a little bit. I apologize. My internet kind of went out for a skosh. Let's see. All right, Streamlabs. Still calibrating some stuff. All right, Streamlabs. Way to go. How do I get out of here? Oops. Well, we are experiencing technical difficulties. I went to open up Streamlabs and now it will not let me exit out. But thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. Okay, well, we have one fat donation so far on Streamlabs. And I got to thank, once again, Maxwell Haddad for by far being way too generous of a human being. And I love him to absolute pieces with a $200 donation. Buddy, I'm just not... Don't make me cry today, man. Don't make me cry. You guys are too good to me. I appreciate you. Matty Gunner says, dude, Mason Silva got Skater of the Year last year. He's insane. Dude, they just keep getting crazier. I'm still subscribed to the Barracks, but I like never go on there anymore. And there's always stuff popping up. It's like, where's this kid come from? Where's this kid come from? And I was like, man, I'm behind. I just like once a month go out there and like skate on a mini ramp for a couple hours and go home. I've turned into such an old fart. Pat coming in with Earth Mightiest Hero, Spectacular Spider-Man, Green Lantern animated series. I think it was only one season, but yes, the animation's not the best, but the storytelling is great. And Young Justice was great time for animated content. I still need to finish Young Justice. They came out with that new season that was on the DC Universe app, and I have not gotten back to it. Dude, same. I met Mike V at a Black Flag show, and I was so starstruck I could barely say 2 words to the guy. Mine wasn't so much starstruck. It was just like he was walking by, and I tried to say, like, hey, you're really cool, as he walked by. What is my most prized possession? I thought I had a cute answer, but then I realized that's actually a really garbage answer. I was going to be like, Lauren's my most prized possession. But I was like, no, she's not a possession. She's not an object. Prized possession. I'm trying to think of things that I look at and I'm just like, yep, that's it. That's the thing. I don't know, for lack of a better word right now, because I can't think of anything, I'm pretty hyped on my Captain America shield. I used to have an Injustice Batman. What's sad is I feel like a lot of times my most prized possessions are things that I've had to get rid of or sell just because like priorities happened. Like, you got leg surgery. You have no money, then you got to sell your $1,200 camera. So that's, yeah. Hi, Molly. What is my dream vacation? I wish I could say something. Well, okay, I got a couple, I guess. I've been to Hawaii twice. The first time was one of the most amazing experiences of my entire life, and I will have dreams about it, about being back there and reliving experiences. So I think about Hawaii all the time. Specifically, it was Kihei in Maui. Was just breathtaking. And the most at peace I think I've ever been in my entire life. And I think if I went back there, maybe like a couple Instagram posts, but for the most part, I think I would just turn my phone off. I love being there and forcing myself to just detach. Hi, buddy. So Hawaii's cool. But then I went to Oahu, right? Yeah. And that was not a great experience just because it was way more of a like tourist place. Like it was all shops and stuff in that spot. I also went with my now ex, and we had like an awkward like engagement thing there. And if you don't stay off my lap, buddy, So yeah, I don't know. It was a really bad time the second time, so I want to get a redemption Hawaii trip. Lauren wants to go to Disneyland, but it's not so much a dream trip because she goes there once or twice a year. But that's like her favorite place to go. As far as places I haven't been, I would love to go to New Zealand or Australia, not Australian. Yeah. Oh yes, lots of love for Maxwell. Everyone loves Maxwell. What is my biggest fear? Suffocating's pretty bad. I don't love tight spaces. I have the potential to get claustrophobic. I'm not inherently claustrophobic, but when I watch a movie like As Above, So Below, and they're like crawling through the catacombs forward in a small clearing, and then they get stuck, and you like hear something behind you, but you literally can't move because you're just stuck in that space. That's one of my biggest fears. I'll throw some mushy in there. My biggest fear would to not be getting married to the woman of my dreams that I am currently scheduled to marry in just a few short months. Yeah, I won't go into a whole bunch of details, but life altering experience. A character you want to see join the MCU that is not X-Men or Fantastic Four. There's so many things that I thought that they would never do or they wouldn't get around to, but they're all now announced. Like I would have said Blade. Blade's around the corner. I could have said Moon Knight. Moon Knight's around the corner. I'm sure we'll get a version of Punisher again. MCU. It's I'm confused as if Deadpool is or is not going to be in the MCU. I don't know. I feel like 3 years ago that'd be a much easier question. Okay, well, how about this? Can they be from the X-Men or Fantastic Four universe? Because I want to see Doctor Doom. I'd love to see Annihilus, Silver Surfer, Galactus, Apocalypse done right. So there's characters in the X-Men Fantastic Four universe that aren't part of those teams that I think would be really cool to see in the MCU. Wingblade is going to get jealous if he also doesn't get wings. You know, the first time I said Sean's name to my fiance, she was like, "That's not his real name, is it?" I was like, "As far as I know, as far as I know." Whoa, 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 whoa! Wait, where are we going? Okay, cilantro, yes or no? Oh, hopefully I don't lose Molly here, but it's a no for me. I don't. I know a lot of people are huge fans of street tacos, but the whole reason I don't order street tacos is they always have cilantro on them, and I was like, all I can taste is the cilantro. If I wanted to eat this, I would just literally like eat the cilantro by hand. I don't know what that's referring to. But has no channel, sets up Streamlabs anyway. Who's that referring to? Are you referring to me? What? What are you yelling at Molly for? What did Molly do? Oh, if I could land any trick, what would I go for? I think it was Luana Oliveira that can do these on flat, but to switch bigger heel, I think is one of the sexiest looking tricks. Like a 360 switch laser flip, or whatever, however that's broken up. Those are dope. You don't see them a lot on ground that's not like super slippery, so there's a little bit of cheating there. I used to do all kinds of bigger spins in the indoor parks because all you gotta do is kind of lean into it. Everyone's like, "What kind of gibberish are you spewing?" Just spinning around, flipping stuff. Favorite meal I've ever had. All I can say is the first two things that come to mind. One of them is, surprisingly, I guess, the best hamburger I've ever had in my life was at a Duke's Chowder House on Alki in Seattle. I just remembered just making embarrassing amounts of noises while eating that hamburger. So that'll always stick out. Also, I got pasta from this super, just really authentic Italian restaurant. They clearly came from Italy. Some of them their accents were thick enough, or I had to ask what a couple times. But anyways, the pasta was so good, and they had some sauce on the pasta, and then they cracked an egg on top of the pasta and just gave me a fork and told me to stir it in. I don't even know how to describe how good that pasta was. I don't remember what it was because I couldn't read anything on the menu. I was just like, I don't know what any of this is, and so I picked one, and my gosh, so good. Why, why won't you give Kitty love? Because he's just neurotic sometimes. I love him, but I'm trying to multitask right here. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant? Well, if the elephant tried to eat a chicken and choked on one, I guess that would do it. So one cock kills an elephant. Favorite genre of movie? Hmm. I mean, obviously, I have an affinity for comic book movies. I can't lie, but I don't want it to sound like that's all I watch because it's not. I'm in inner geekdom, so there's so many things that fall under the inner geekdom category that I'm into. But if we want to like step out of like geek stuff, I love thrillers. I'm not a big horror movie fan, but I do like being on the edge of my seat. A good example would be Don't Breathe with like Stephen Lang. Uh, it's a good movie. Or Quiet Place. I really love Quiet Place. Stuff that just puts you on edge, but it's backed by like really good storytelling. I think that is an incredible genre that we don't see enough good entries into. The Secret Agent, STFU. I chose some name that's inconspicuous. I fully understand. I get it. I get it. I don't know context. Oh, Brandy's. I was referring to myself. Oh, cilantro is what I was saying no to. What is a skill that I would love to master? Oh, skill I would love to master. Hmm, that's a tough question. I th- I think maybe just being like successfully aerobic. Yeah, it sounds like a weird thing, but like I love to be like a good runner, like somebody that can just sprint for like 40 minutes and be okay instead of sprinting for like 3 minutes and passing out on the ground. So if that counts as a skill, if not that, then art. I'm always jealous of people that are really good artists. So I'm guessing that Maddie probably does some really skilled artwork. Favorite director? Hmm. There's always something in every genre. Like, oh, I love this movie and I love this movie. I'm trying to think of like a straight up director that I would just follow to the ends of the earth. And I mean, one of the first things that comes to mind is just generic because they've had so many movies and so many good movies, and that's Steven Spielberg. But like, I never get asked who my favorite director is, and I don't bring it up either because I love a lot of movies, and it incorporates a lot of different directors, and I feel like there's not any one that I latch onto, and I'm like I will die on that hill. Like there's a lot of people I think swear by Christopher Nolan. Um, he doesn't have a perfect track record to me, and really no director has a perfect track record unless they've had one movie and that one movie's been good. So I'm not sure who my favorite director is. Cop out, I guess. What actor do you think would be a great director? Ooh, hmm. I would love to see. Crap. I can never think of it. Like, give it 10 years, but I just love the work that she's chosen to do. Help me pronounce the names like Sasha Ronan, Saoirse Ronan. Maybe in the chat, I'll scroll down there. You can spell it out for me. But you know what I'm talking about from like Little Woman and Lady Bird. I may grab my water. I'm having a little bit of chest gas. Um, this is for me. Pokemon, Digimon, none of the above. Oh, just asking if I like them. I mean, I have Pokemon Go on my phone. I open it occasionally. I can't tell you how many times I used to watch the Digimon movie. One of the best soundtracks for an animated movie of its time. Um, Favorite or least favorite words? Um, I think one of my favorite words is because it's everyone's least favorite word, and that's moist. Moist. Uh, Trying to think of ones that aren't just like straight up dirty words. Say Heidi Ho. Heidi Ho is a pretty good combo of words. It's got a hyphen, so it counts as one word. Um, I'm not sure off the top of my head. His real name is Sean Beyblade. Yep, that's what I'm going to call him from now on. Wingblade is Beyblade. That would make him only more powerful. Is that Beyblade? That would be too powerful. Favorite director is easily Yui Bowl. I'm trying to think. I know he's done garbage movies, but for some reason right now, my brain is not letting me remember. Help me. You're renting out a theater tomorrow for 10 of your favorite people or any people you pick. What 3 movies do you play? Okay. I want to re-experience Endgame with 10 of my favorite people at a time because I watched that movie like 6 times in theaters and it was like with 1 or 2 people at a time. I just want to get just the friends, relive that, use it as a sign of like we're getting past the pandemic, we're going back into movies, we're seeing Marvel again. So celebrate with Endgame. Jurassic Park got re-released for its 25th anniversary in theaters, and that was one of my favorite movie-going experiences. I would definitely see Jurassic Park again in theaters. So that's 2. Let's wrap up 3 with Princess Bride, because I've never seen it in theaters. I love Princess Bride. So, like inertia, Sean says. So, Saoirse? So, yeah, I can never do it. My fiance has told me so many times how to say her name, and I feel awful because I never can. But I think she'd be an awesome director. If anyone agrees with me, let me know. If you disagree, also let me know. Maddie says, I used to do art a long time ago, but music and MMA took over my life, and I just stopped doing it. Well, man, if you ever get a chance, just do a little ditty. You don't have to spend hours on it. Just a little tiny thing. Brandy says, what is your dream job? Growing up when I was a little kid, my dream job was to be a marine biologist because I loved the ocean. And then I found out how much schooling it takes, and I just decided I want to do other things. And for a while, I wanted to be a filmmaker. I wanted to either get into editing or be a director or be a screenwriter. And I went to college for that and saw all the dollar signs and things as far as how much things cost, and just didn't feel prepared. So then my next dream, which who knows if it'll happen, I started watching like Collider Movie Talk and AMC Movie Talk and listening to critics, watching reviews, seeing Jeremy Johns, and seeing people that were living off of like combinations of YouTube and Patreon and just building these communities, making all these friends. I was like, I love talking to people. So like that, being able to do that instead of stocking beer to the shelf 10 to 12 hours a day and exhausting myself and like breaking my body, I would much rather talk about the things that I'm passionate about. I think it's better for the soul. Movies are chicken soup for my soul. My favorite superhero, if you can see right back here, this top comic thing is actually like the Gotham City skylight, but it's in the shape of Batman. It wasn't I don't want to be super basic. It wasn't always this way. But as I got older and started reading more comics, Batman did become my favorite superhero. If you don't count him as a superhero because he's not super technically, then again, I started liking Superman later on. I started growing to DC a lot more. I love Green Lantern. I talked about getting a Green Lantern tattoo. Specifically Hal Jordan. John Stewart's cool too. And there's a lot of other Green Lanterns that are fun characters, but they're not my favorite because I never really got into them. Favorite comic. All right, this is where I get a shout out my faction manager, Koisif, Jandrew, Saga. And that's something I read in the last 3 years. I got the Saga Omnibus from Image Comics. Saga is incredible. But either tied with Saga or right up there is the Injustice series from DC Comics based off the Injustice games that fills in some of the blanks between the games before and after. It's incredible. Who's the most interesting person you've ever met? Well, I'll be honest. I have had not a lot of opportunities to meet really cool and exciting people. Washington, and specifically this part of Washington, unless you have a lot of connections, is just really boring. But I mean, recently in the past couple months, I've met some really cool people. I think Bibbs has a lot of interesting stories to tell. But after a 3-hour stream, I got to tell you, Rachel Silvestrini might be one of the most fascinating people to listen tell stories. I feel like she's experienced everything in life there is to experience with a little bit of extra flair on it. So, Rachel, if you're watching or see this at any point, you fascinate me, and I think you blew my fiance away. He's done terrible video game movies like Blood Rain, Postal, and Alone in the Dark. That sounds right. Thank you, John. Thank you for the catching it up. That's a great thing. Well, thank you, Brandy. Thank you for the awesome, awesome question. Other things besides movies that are my hobbies. I read that super out of order, but I have an Xbox. I have a Switch here. And I don't have a lot of time to play games, but I enjoy games. I love Mortal Kombat. Overwatch is fun. I still play Titanfall. Nobody seems to, but I think that's. Honestly, I really like being outside. I mean, I talked about skateboarding, but before this stream, I just went on like an hour walk and crafted my thumbnail for this video. And trampolines, some of those other activities I was talking about. Naps is a really fun hobby. Enjoy that one. When I asked everyone what comics I should start with, Saga won by a landslide. I have yet to actually read it. Well, I have a pro and a con for you, maybe. It's a little scary because once you start reading Saga, most people Saga's like a blend of it's Lord of the Rings, it's Harry Potter, it's got some R-rated flair. Parts of it are like, as graphic as The Boys or Invincible. So it's like all these things that were your favorite things as a child, and Star Wars, and not so much Star Trek, but it's all these things that you loved as a kid smashed together, given an adult edge to it, and it's just bizarre, but it's like a type of like bizarre that you can still latch onto and relate to these characters. And I actually was like shedding a tear by the end of the omnibus, so it's good stuff. I think my warning was going to be once you get into it, it's going to be really hard to set down. Who's your favorite movie villain? All these questions that I really would have to think about. Movie. I'm trying to not think of like the comic book stuff because like you associate villains with comic book movies so much that it's easy to do. I wish I had a bunch of movies over here so I had something to look at besides like pop figures. I don't know. Maybe if you guys throw some suggestions in the comment section, it'll like get me going. And my favorite hero. Well, overall, you say if we're talking movie heroes, I'm not going to say Batman because I really like Batman '89. Here's the hot take. This is where everybody that's watching leaves. I don't care for the Dark Knight trilogy. I'm not saying they're bad movies. They just don't fit my build for Batman as far as like the storytelling. I don't know who my favorite hero would be. The questions are great. My ability to pull out of obscurity is a little rough. You know what? I'm going to throw this out here. Burt Gummer. He is the main protagonist for every Tremors film. Burt Gummer, my favorite hero. There we go. Favorite book. Thinking of things I read. I read Harry Potter as a kid. I read this book, Feed. That was pretty wild. I read like 3 or 4 of the Game of Thrones books. Lately, I started reading, and Maxwell knows this, as does Amber. I started reading the Court of Thorns and Roses series by like Sarah Maas, and I've been binging them the last few weeks. And they're a little smutty, but you know what? Shit's real good. When you can listen to an Audible at work and like have tears streaming down your face at certain parts, that's good storytelling. I really like that stuff. Did I ever get into anime? Not in any like, not worth mentioning. Like not enough to say that, oh yeah, I totally did this. Like I've seen sometimes half a season here, a couple episodes here. I know there's some really good stuff, but a lot of times the anime is also very dense, like a lot of seasons. And like I said, it's hard for me to self-motivate. So if the person I'm with doesn't really want to watch it, then it's hard for me to get that time in. Kyle Rayner is my favorite Lantern. Wally is my favorite Flash. After growing up reading Mark Waid's run, do you have a favorite Flash? Oh, well, it's hard. I think it's really 50-50. Because Wally West was my Justice League Flash, as was Jon Stewart when I watched the Justice League animated show. But for almost every other incarnation, Barry Allen's been my Flash. And I love both characters. I think neither of them have gotten live action treatment that they deserve. I think we have a long way to go. I would love to see just perfect casting for those. Kyle's probably one of the Lanterns I know the least about. I think that the term fridging came from his girlfriend. Is that right? You can correct me down there. But Kyle, spoiler alert, I guess for any people that haven't read the Injustice comics, it is an Elseworlds story, so don't get too mad at me. Kyle dies horribly in that book. A lot of characters do, though. It's kind of like, it's even more adult version of like Civil War, but I think the conflict in Injustice is more interesting than the conflict in the comic book version of Civil War. If you guys can hang for just like 5 seconds, I'm gonna grab water. I'm starting to feel it in my throat a little bit, but I love the support. I love you guys for being here. I appreciate everyone so much. I'm sorry I'm behind on the comments, but you rock. I'll be right back. I gotta catch up on some stuff really quick. So there's all these notifications. Thank you, Brandy, for that lovely quote of mine. Putting that on Twitter. Appreciate that. Oh, that I don't mute my mic? Yeah. Well, why would you ever want to miss a single second of this experience? What is my favorite pop figure? All right, well, I got to get up again so I can bring it to you. Oh, crap. Okay, well, now I have to explain my entire exponential crisis that I just had. Existential, not exponential. An exponentially existential crisis is what just happened. So I went to pick up my favorite pop figure to show you guys, and then all of a sudden they just all started becoming my favorite pop figures because I have a 1989 Batman figure. That's one of my favorites. I have a black and white Jim Lee Superman figure on a gargoyle. That's one of my favorites. I will show you this one. It's one of my favorites. It's Pennywise holding the skateboard because obviously, horror stuff is fun. I enjoy the It movies. I view them almost more as comedies. But, Pennywise with skateboard. And then this one is special. This is like a cool rustic golden statued Stan Lee. And that's one of my favorites. I also have a Pennywise that's like this big, and I have Thor versus Thanos and Captain America versus Thanos. Those are the big ones that are down here in this corner. I enjoy pop figures. One of my favorites is I have Stefan, Bill Hader from SNL. I just like the eclecticness of pops. Some people go for collections. I go for like the opposite. I want to get as many different things as possible that represent things that I'm passionate about. Yikes. We have a comment here that says, my bedroom is full of adult Stars posters. I mean, to each their own. I'm guessing we're talking about the Dark Knight trilogy having less character than the Burton ones. It might have been a little cartoony, but Tim Burton's Batman felt like Gotham. Director combo that has never worked together. It's hard to come up with some of these things when you're just like on your own, and like I love doing it during discussions because you can like have somebody else talking while you like sit and think, but I'm trying to not take 5 minutes to come up with an answer. I'm just gonna throw something weird out there. Let's say Steven Spielberg and Adam Sandler. Yeah, I don't think they've worked together. What? Whoops. Not there yet. Here we go. What always makes you laugh? Really stupid jokes, bad puns, uh, Adam Sandler movies when I'm in the right mood for them. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I laugh a lot, but sometimes you never know what's going to set me off. It's not too hard, though. It's really not very hard. What Disney princess would make the best spy? Well, I would say if she somehow maintains the ability to still turn into a frog, Tiana, yeah, Tiana, as a frog, I think would make a really good spy. So, how's that? There's Sean shaming me. That is correct. The term fridging originated from his run in Green Lantern when Major Force literally stuffed Alexandra DeWitt in a fridge. Yeah, and that became a rough thing, using female death or torture as a main motivator for male antagonists. So fix that. Stan Lee was amazing. I had the pleasure of meeting him, and nobody loved their fans more than Stan. Yeah, if it was easy to access, I'd pull it up on the computer, but I'd be digging for a while. I got a picture of Stan, I think with one of his very last Comic-Con appearances. It was Emerald City a few years back, and I only had a limited amount of money to get pictures with one celebrity. Jason Momoa was there, and Stan Lee was there. And I hadn't made a choice. I really wanted a picture with Jason Momoa, but I got it with Stan Lee, and I'm glad I did, because he passed away like the following year, or like 5 or 6 months later. Ooh, interesting. That's a good one. Nolan and RDJ. I wonder what they would do. I think that would be fascinating. Ooh, okay, wait. What about Taika Waititi and Daniel Craig? What fantasy world would you want to live in? Well, I mean, it's hard for me not to say Prithian right now, because Prithian's the world that these books take place in. But like, I say that because I'd be fascinated to see it with my own eyes. However, it's a terrifying place. It's awful. I mean, there's lots of cool things, but like your chance of just being brutally murdered are really high. So, fantasy world. I think everyone would like to spend an afternoon in the Shire, right? Okay, just so everyone knows, I got about another 20, maybe 25 minutes, and then I got to bounce. Let me see something really quick here. Again, thank you everyone for coming by. It was awesome. This was kind of a surprise thing that I wanted to do with the extra time. Brandy just coming in hot with all the fantastic questions. I wish my answers were half as fantastic as all the great questions that you are asking. I'm just trying to I was trying to pin something from StreamYards, but I don't think I can. So I'm going to try to do it on this page here. Oh, I haven't said anything. But you guys have been doing a really great job so far. If you could please give a like to the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. It means the world to me, and it helps this channel grow, and helps me devote more time to doing this thing and talking with you guys. Okay, where is Brandy? If you could do me a favor, possibly. Could you post that Streamlabs link down in the bottom one more time? I got the page open on the other side. I'm going to try to pin it. Okay. Here we go. If animals could talk, which animal would be the rudest? We have to know it's cats, right? Am I wrong? Is there... Is there something that'd be ruder? I feel like skunks would be rude. Okay, put this here. Pin message. Yay, there we go. Together we can do anything. So we pinned the Streamlabs link if anybody wants to donate. I occasionally get a little behind on the questions. So that's one way that I'll answer those first. And again, a shout out to Maxwell earlier with just a huge, glorious donation, man. One day I'm going to have to do something really huge for that kid. So I appreciate it so much. Man, there's so many questions. What sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to? Oh, God. I'm trying to think of ones that would be funny, but like not nauseating. So are you saying funny to watch or like funny to partake in? Because those are two different questions. Because sometimes you can laugh at people's misery, but you wouldn't want to actually do it. So I'm trying to think what sport. I'll tell you, I've tried to skateboard drunk, and one of my friends has mastered it. He drinks like 2 Peach Four Locos in like an hour period and skates better than most of us. I don't understand it. It's mind-boggling. I think as long as you're tipsy enough that you can still stand, but you're not like, completely gone. I think bowling with the what do you call them? The gutter guards up. I think that's fun. Because I mean, if you're pretty wasted, you're just gonna get a bunch of gutter balls, and that's not fun for anyone. So just seeing what kind of lucky tosses you could do down the laneway, I think would be a lot of fun. Would you rather have 1 really large finger or 100 tiny fingers? It's weird how unsettling that is. I feel like if you just had 1 large finger, that would just feel like a giant nub on the end of your hand. What can you do with 1 giant finger? But like 100 tiny fingers is way too many. That means like your hand would look like a sea anemone. I think I'm going to say 1 really large finger. Ew. Your hand would just look like a giant penis. Let's see. Is cereal a soup? Hang on. Definition. The definition of soup. A liquid dish typically made by boiling meat, fish, or vegetables, etc., in stock or water. 2, a substance or mixture perceived to resemble soup in appearance or consistency. Well, hang on now. Okay, so I'm going to say if we go by definition 1, cereal is not a soup. If we go by definition 2, it's kind of a soup. So, in these court books, they refer to something that's definitely not a soup as a soup. I think, maybe it's chapter 55. I don't remember, but there you go. You ever played drunk driving where you play Mario Kart and have to finish your beer every race? I have not, because again, I don't drink a whole lot of beer. I've played Mortal Kombat drunk. Shooting games for me are not fun when you're tipsy. So if you could live anywhere, where would you live? Again, if I could live there, afford to actually live there, it'd be Hawaii, probably. If money was no object, if I could get like a decent house, because I'm more like, I want enough space just to have my stuff. Like, I don't need anything extravagant. So if I had a house that was just like enough, but I was like close to the beach and I could go out swimming all the time, get some color, be a little less pasty white, I think that'd be remarkable. Edward Penis Hands has entered the chat. All right, guys, if you can we get a hashtag the Jackal, hashtag Jesse Swift, like hashtag Penis Hands or Edward Penis Hands in there? Oh, wow. Just incredible timing. We have Sean Beyblade.
Hey, look, I got a new hat.
That is an amazing hat. And you kept the sticker on it. Great job.
It's for the next episode of Box.
Oh, cool. Wait, is that the one I'm supposed to be on?
Maybe. I saw a jungle theme.
Yeah. I love like I talked about being on BoxBox for those that don't know, which I think this whole group does, on the PJC and the Pajunka network. And then all of a sudden I'm in the thumbnail for like the next episode and I'm tagged in and I was like, was this ever clarified? Did we confirm this? And I was asking, I was like, I don't even know what day this is.
Did they make the thumbnail before you filmed it?
Yeah. Well, they filmed their part, and I guess they're gonna film mine separately, and there's gonna be some splicing or something. What the hell? Hey, we got somebody we got to talk to in the chat in a second.
Don't spoil behind the scenes.
That's true. Yeah, because if I do, then Christian Harloff will private message me, and that never happened.
PJ, someone's always saying your name.
That's true. That sounds very sensual, exciting. Sean, sir, thank you for the $20 donation.
You're welcome.
Say, don't shut up and take my money. So I will take your money and continue talking for the time we have. Is this a long enough time to have Edward Penis Hands on the screen? All right, we're gonna take it off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
I'll always keep the penis hands up.
What are some nicknames that you have? Not a lot, but there's a couple. And I like. It's kind of funny that the same ones get adapted whatever community I go into, because there's already like half the community calling me Swifty. I was like, yep, that's been since I was like 12.
That's just what your name is, no matter what group you go into. They always take the same thing.
My original email, my first email that I still use, is Swifty_13@hotmail.com. So I still have that. The Jackal's a new one. That's a nickname. I used to have a friend that I skated with that was older than me, that as a commentary on my high energy level all the time, he referred to me as Sparky, and I went by that for a couple of years. Technically Jess is a nickname, but usually it's reserved for people that know me better. I don't know why. It's just taking one letter off, but like Lauren calls me Jess, and my siblings call me Jess, and my parents do. When somebody I just met is like, hey, Jess, I'm like, no, we're not there. So not a lot of nicknames. Hey, Sean, how are you? Before I get into the comments, thanks for joining me.
I'm good. Oh, yeah, it shows up on camera. I'm all sunburnt. I don't know which way to go.
Are you out?
Yeah, I was working the yard yesterday. I'm super red. But that's what tank tops are for. It's summertime. I'm good. I was coaching my kids' baseball game, and then barbecue tonight. Watch the fights later, so I had to go get some meat.
I'm glad you could pop on here.
I saw a link. I clicked it.
Now, is this a debate? Is a hot dog is a hot dog in a bun oh yeah, so it's a hot dog in a bun a sandwich?
Sure.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I put a hot dog in 2 slices of bread, I still call it a hot dog. I don't refer to it as a sandwich. So I don't know if that decides the argument, but
if you eat a hot dog without a bun, it's still called a hot dog. You're eating.
I think hot dog just it just overrides everything, and no matter what it is.
I think anything between bread is a sandwich.
Okay.
And overarching, but there are levels to those sandwiches. There are tiers. It's like a tree branch. It spreads out.
Oh. So do you like surprises? Sometimes.
The good kind.
Yeah, I mean, like, surprises are really vague. Do I like people popping around the corner and be like, boo, I scared you? No, I want to punch them in the face. It's stupid. But if it's like, a surprise present that's really sweet, I can get overwhelmed. Hawaii is one of the 2 states I've never been to. All right, so fun alternate to that. It's one of the 2 other states I have been to. No, I've been to Hawaii. I've been to California twice. Been to Montana a couple times in Oregon. So a couple things on this side plus Hawaii. But I've done jack shit in the middle or over on the East Coast.
I've never been to Oregon. I went to Seattle in 2015 for funny enough, a trivia competition. But I've never been to Hawaii. My wife and I were trying to figure out if we could maybe go to Aulani, I think is in Hawaii, right? So we're thinking about doing that.
I had tickets before COVID.
Oh, really?
We were going.
Nice.
We were going to go in the first week of May, I think.
Mm-hmm.
COVID May. Hey, it's Beyblade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's saying hi, PJ in the chat. Hi, Brandy. People talking. Ask funny questions. Every time I hear Jackal, I think of the Family Guy scene with Pictionary. Is that the like at fat? No. My biggest pet peeve. Most of them are at work. People that are highly unaccountable, I think, is a big one. Like, if you can't do something, I'm not going to judge you for it, but then don't constantly say that you can.
There's a lot of common sense things, and it can boil down to work. That's where it annoys me most, where people just they don't want to take responsibility, or like, that's what you're here for. No, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for a very specific other job.
What is? Oh, we already asked that. Okay. Favorite game and gaming system of all time.
We were texting about this the other day. Super Nintendo for me, for sure.
Game Boy Advance was pretty cool, especially when you had like the attachable light. I had a lot of good time with that. But I mean, I really think, people can be nostalgia and everything, and that's definitely a big part of it when it comes to consoles. But overall, they really do get better with every generation.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, whatever I've had, because I haven't had every console. So it's like whatever I have at the time, it's probably my favorite console. There's old games that I'll miss. Like, we can argue favorite games, but I think the consoles just keep getting better.
The consoles keep getting bigger, especially with graphics, with load times, with advancements technology. But I think the nostalgia factor, because that takes me back to when I loved playing games for fun instead of like, now I feel like every game you play, it's always about like trophy hunting. Like, you're just trying to knock things off the list and like get all the achievements and stuff and try to keep up with your friends and whatnot.
That's true.
But I always like to tote this game. Super Nintendo Secret of Evermore is and I think it should be adapted into like a TV show or a movie. It's basically a movie. It's a dog and his or a boy and his dog type of story. And his dog goes missing. It goes through a portal. The boy chases after him, and then you get transported through all these like ancient times world,
Dude, I
alien
make
world.
A Billy
it's
Madison
really cool.
reference. So
you gotta look it up.
You see Billy Madison?
Yeah, of course.
Well, you're saying that like he goes after the dog. I'm like, you get your ass out there and you find that fucking dog. Okay. Thank you so much for everybody's contributions here. I'm just gonna say probably right now, if you're thinking about asking anything else, cut it off because I got just a few more minutes and I gotta head out. But I will try to answer what is here right now. Do you like theme park horror nights? The only theme park I ever went to with a horror night was Wild Waves here, and it was such a huge waste of time. We were in line for like 3 hours, and we were in the haunted house for like 4 minutes, and I was bored. What's the sexiest and least sexy name? Jesse and Sean, and figure out which is which. All right. What kind of secret society would you like to start? I can't tell you. It's a secret.
It's a secret. Not allowed to say.
What is the weirdest thing you have seen in someone else's home?
Mine's probably not appropriate.
Trying to think. Or a sock on the door? I don't know. Okay. Other than
Jesse, you're going to have to repeat everything you're saying right now. None of it's coming through. The internet has failed, Jesse. All right, you're back. I can see. Okay. I can see you again. Yes.
we had a little quirky Merc connection there. Brandy said, "Other than your wedding, what are you most excited for the rest of the year?" And I'm saying Marvel coming back is a big thing. Wedding's the obvious thing, so we're talking not that then.
Marvel movies,
and probably Disneyland honeymoon. PS2 still reigns supreme due to its library, Metal Gear, Kingdom Hearts. Like pretty much everything he's mentioned though continued on. I mean, that's a great point. But
Kingdom Hearts was my jam for so long. I love that. The Kingdom Hearts 3 disappointed me so bad. I hate that it was just so boring. It was the graphics were still great, and it would, but it was clunky acting that it didn't flow smoothly when it was cutting from scene to scene. That it just took me out of it, and it was just boring. It was hard to get through.
I'm gonna let you answer this next one first because I'm curious, but I have mine ready right away.
Oh well, you. My favorite Arnold. I love The Last Action Hero.
Okay.
But I'm not a huge quote person. Like I'm not gonna start name off quotes in like everyday life, at least not from Arnold. So go for it.
I definitely am a quote person. Jingle All the Way. Jingle All the Way is my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and I'm glad that you said no matter how terrible they may be because it's awful, but it's so good.
It's hilarious.
Put that cookie down now. I had it up to here with the Tin Man doll. All right. So close to getting through the whole stream without issues. Yep. Almost. That's what I get for pushing it to almost an hour and a half. Sean, remember that pic of the naked snake lady mirror I put in the general's chat? It's the freakiest thing I've seen.
Yeah. John took a selfie in the mirror. He's like, yeah, so I asked to use the customer's restroom, and this is what is sitting over the toilet. And it was a mirror covered in the middle by just a naked lady with like snakes all over the outside of the mirror. The mirror was not very useful.
No, you know what? The creepiest things I've seen in somebody else's house became the creepiest things in my own house because I lived with my sister for a year and she brought all her stuff. She has a glass jar about this big, just with baby doll heads in it.
Oh.
And then she has like a tequila poster that says like El Diablo on it, and it's like this really weird naked devil. And I'm trying to think what else, but like pretty much everything related to my sister's stuff is terrifying.
I've been in a customer's house. They were obsessed with like flamingos. Like everything was pink, and there was like you would have a statue or whatever in the corner of just flamingos. It was everywhere, and on the pictures on the wall, it was. Hey, to each his own. Everyone has their vices, I
guess. Brandon says, nope, no to the baby doll heads. Just no. I should text my sister back. Can you send me a picture of your baby doll jar? But I had, I said earlier I had like a Pennywise that was this big. So it was like a fireplace mantle, and that's where she had the baby doll jar. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna embrace this. And I put my big Pennywise next to it. I put my Beetlejuice pop. And like all the creepy stuff I owned. I had like a Chucky pop too. So I just put all my horror stuff next to her baby dolls.
Yeah. Just keep it all in one area.
I would say better late than never, but not by much. Hey Buck. He probably just showed up because he wants to talk some smack because he's still feeling salty about that match you guys have. I'll do another one eventually.
He sends me a message every day.
Yeah. just pure hate mail.
Every morning I wake up.
All right. Well, let me check this one more time. Okay, we got no more Streamlabs for the moment, and I gotta go pick the lady up. But Sean, thank you so much for coming by.
Sure.
Hopefully, depending on when I can get, I've heard rumblings that my graphic is in the works for the show that I am working on. I haven't said anything live on the channel, but I have on Twitter. So I'll let you guys know there's a show in the works. It's looking to be called Shark Jumpers. And we might have a rotating cast of guests, hoping to see Sean on there at least a couple times maybe. And we're just going to discuss basically IPs, whether that be movies, TVs, maybe even video games, where we were following it, we were with it, and then it just completely lost us. It jumped that shark and made some rough calls. And there might be some hot takes in there. There might be things that jumped it for us that other people were on board with. But I think it'll be fun. Looking for a lot of community interaction there. And that'll be Saturday mornings at either 10 a.m. or 10:30. Just look to Twitter for more news on that. Sean, since you popped on here, where can the people find you?
Oh, at Twitter, at Sean Wingblade. Spell Sean correctly, SEAN. And I got links on there. You can find me there.
Awesome. And then you guys can find me here, obviously, on Flick in Real, and you should know how to spell it because that's where you're at. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like. That helps us get more views and get broadcasted across the YouTube algorithms. And Brandy, thank you so much.
Brandy coming in with the links.
Always. Brandy is.
This is why Brandy gets all the mod powers. Give her all the power.
I sent it to her, and it's not. Does it normally? Maybe you guys can explain something to me. Does it normally show up as a wrench on here? Because I made her the mod, and I'm not seeing
Not
it.
on your side, but on the regular website, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, Twitter at Jesse Swift. I'm gonna keep plugging this, even though I haven't used it in like 2 months. I did stereo. It's at the Jackal. Look to seeing me more on Schmodown. I'm not done this season. There's more to come. Announcements lingering. But thank you guys so much for being here. And until next week or next video, whenever, keep it real. And it's been Jesse and Sean.